Hey YouTube, it's Jeremiah again at Forland. Welcome back. If you're new, welcome. Final day on the engine rebuild assembly. It's back in the car. Put everything back together. We're gonna fire it up, take it for a good test drive. I haven't added oil or coolant yet, but I did add transmission fluid due to the torque converter came out with a short block. Stupid people sometimes. But yeah, and I guess they're wanting me to finish this before lunch because they sent me a gift. That one is my next one. So that's my long block. But yeah, see, everything's back in the car. Everything's right about here. You know, gotta plug everything back in. I got the transmission lines already hooked, filled. I gotta put it on the vacuum for like 45 minutes. So get this, our 1234 YF machine does if you put it on a 35-minute vacuum, then if you charge it, it puts it on another 10-minute vacuum, then fills the system, checks for leaks, etc., etc. Well, if I do that, some reason it won't take a full charge. So I do a 45-minute vacuum, plus the 10-minute vacuum after that, and it has no problem. It's the weirdest thing in the world, that damn machine. I think it's broken, but due to everything going on right now, they can't send anybody out to look at it. So people, well, my training guy always watched me do this. So he finally figured out, he says, you know, look at this. Your shifter cable bushing comes out on these fucking things all the time. Push that back in. There's a recall for it. But he usually takes the whole bracket out, that whole big bracket. Me, take the 8mm bolt out, press the tab in, press this tab in, and pulls it out. He likes the way I do that, so I guess he's gonna start doing it that way. I don't know, but that's where we're at for today. Hopefully everything will run smooth. I know the timing's right. Make sure the computer's right. Heat it up, do a misfire relearn. Take it for a good test drive. And now, due to I have the front wheels already off, the customer stated he wants a oil change and tire rotation. My service writer said, okay, we can do that, and puts it in as a work package. I thought you get new oil with new motors. Just saying. So instead of getting a 0.6, I have to tell the customer, well, service writer has to tell the customer that new oil comes in the motor, just got to pay for the tire rotation. So I lose a 0.3 somewhere around there, but I'll make it up the back end somewhere. So that's where we're at. So I put an engine in this last week. Clutch car. It's got a clutch. I didn't diagnose it. Another senior master diagnosed it, and he gave it to me. Stick shift. To put a motor in it, so I did. And I fired it up. Noticed the check engine light was on. Of course it was on. Didn't clear. Codes weren't clear. So I scanned it, found history codes and permit codes of the bank 1, sensor 2, O2 sensor, heater code. Okay. Due to coolant was going through the engine, probably got it on there a little bit. So, you know, I cleared it out. Did a monitor test, make sure everything's working, test drove it, come back, fine. Sat overnight, let it burp itself because there wasn't no rush. Fired up the next morning, take it for another test drive, check engine light. Alright, scanned again, O2 sensor code. I said, there's gotta be a fluke somewhere, something's gotta be wrong. So I checked all the wiring, made sure everything's alright. Everything works, cleared the code, take it for another test drive. Halfway down the road, check engine light come back on. So I pull it over, scanned it, O2 sensor. So I had to order an O2 sensor for it. It's the only code I have. We don't have it in stock, of course. So it should be here today. Hopefully I'll have this car up and running too, as well, so I can start the long block in the afternoon. It's an RS. Everywhere it is. RS. It's even got the special filter, P&M filter thing on it. So yeah, that's where we're at for today. I'll give you more updates when I start to get it running, do a little test drive here and there, and we'll see how it goes. The funny part is that I put a steering wheel holder in all these cars. As I put the cradle back up, I line them all back up where they mark them all. And some reason, steering wheel is always off. I don't know why. It's the weirdest thing in the world, but it is what it is. You get an extra 0.6 to straighten the steering wheel and tow and go, so it helps me out in the long run. But yeah, well, shit, I got a boss coming. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, comment. I'll answer your questions, and I'll catch you on later. Goodbye.